In 1961, Halbert Dunn published his book High Level Wellness, where he introduced his own definition of wellness. He describes it as an integrated method of functioning, which is oriented towards maximizing the potential of which an individual is capable. It requires that the individual maintain a continuum of balance and purposeful direction within the environment they are functioning. In using this definition of wellness, he writes, I do not wish to imply that there is an optimum level of wellness, but rather that wellness is a direction in progress towards an ever higher potential of functioning. Neither do I wish to put a limit on the way or the degree to which the individual is able to function with respect to particular body parts. Rather, I'd like to imply that it involves the total individual as a personality in all their uniqueness. Dunn explains that wellness requires a holistic approach, addressing mind, body, spirit, and also community and environment, the internal and the external, the material and measurable, but also the immaterial and the potential. The ideas that Halbert Dunn presented took hold in America in the 1970s as medical physicians sought to promote health and wellness rather than just treat illness. In 1975, Dr. John Travis opened the Wellness Resource Center in California, where self-directed, preemptive approaches like healthy lifestyle choices, regular exercise, time spent in nature and with loved ones, as well as time focusing on mental and emotional health, were generally preferred over the treatment of disease symptoms with drugs. As these approaches to wellness became more popular, people began to see the benefits of a holistic approach to health, promoting lifestyle changes and preventing sickness by pursuing well-being rather than merely reacting to symptoms after they emerge. Human beings are designed to thrive in scarcity, overcome challenges, develop complementary relationships, and grow ever greater into their potential, physically, mentally, and emotionally. A life of self-interest and material comfort does not serve these needs, and therefore does not lead to a life of health and wellness. No. Boy, right. Let's go. Let's go. But with the stories of the West suppressed and discounted by influences of the Enlightenment, and so much confidence put into the fixed and inherent natures of the observable material world, with no regard paid to the meaningfulness of human perception and feeling, people struggled to find a way to start integrating an approach to well-being that takes into account the hidden and the immaterial aspects of human existence found in ancient spiritual wisdom that was once passed down through generations and embodied in everyday life. In search of an effective way to live well and grow beyond the materialism in Western culture, people turned to the ancient writings of Veda Vyasa and the practices of the East, where the thread of spiritual thought was never cut off in popular culture. In California, developing out of the popularity of John Travis's Wellness Resource Center, the culture of wellness evolved to include yoga, meditation, an understanding of the cycles of life, the need for stillness, regular physical practice and ritual, objects and movements that carry meaning and connect individuals to a heritage and a legacy by embodying the patterns of the world as well as connecting them to a community. The discovery of a scientific understanding of the world, removing meaningfulness and human discernment from things in order to observe and measure them as they are materially, has afforded tremendous advancement in knowledge and innovation, experimenting with precision and removing guesswork, conjecture and bias from our judgment. But something is lost when all else is forgotten. We don't need to go backwards to the past, where infectious disease, rigid class structures and fighting between city-states were the norm. But spiritual wisdom needs to be joined to our scientific understanding in order to transform ourselves and our world into something greater. We need to discover an identity that motivates us to thrive in challenges and grow into our potential. Today, wellness is a buzzword in an industry that has become cynically commercialized and performative. A word that can be attached to anything in order to sell more stuff to more people by promising a taste of shallow happiness. But Western world wellness promises something deeper. Western world wellness is about being part of a heritage and a legacy that spans throughout time. A continuous, unbroken thread of spiritual thought that is threatening to break unless we continue in its traditions and bring them to being by the ways we live our lives. Western world wellness is about being prepared to be wrong in order to discover the right answers, knowing that exposing ignorance and foolishness is actually the intelligent way to learn, being a confident beginner and asking questions rather than trying to look clever, so that as we learn and apply our learning in repeated action, we can bring ourselves closer to the ideal form. But if we are not willing to look stupid, we will stay exactly as we are. Western world wellness is about being free from the fear of enslavement to any human authority, flawed and prone to misjudgment and pride. This includes our own ability to direct ourselves, where biases in our decision-making, combined with overconfidence in our own judgment, can lead to a kind of self-enslavement, which is the hardest kind of slavery to escape because it is hidden, even from those who are enslaved. Western world wellness is not just escaping suffering and ignoring the desires and expectations within us, but willingly entering into suffering in order to achieve those desires, living a life of directed action, honest experimentation, and a constant drive for new discovery, no matter what it takes, as this is the great work of life. Western world wellness is about having the courage, the gratitude, the awareness, and the will to take advantage of opportunities, rising up to change one's position in life. Western world wellness is even about holding up the light of logic, rationality, and science to ideas and problems in order to discover solutions. Rather than just letting things go, Western world wellness is about bringing things together, bringing ourselves together, bringing our communities together, bringing our societies together, bringing the world together. Human beings are meant to work in harmony with the environment around them, aligned to the patterns that we see in the world. When we move away from those patterns, we become sick. Health and wellness is about aligning ourselves with the way human beings really work. The frameworks I use to train people are built by joining spiritual wisdom with scientific understanding. Some is influenced by the East, and some is influenced by the West. But it doesn't matter where you come from. There are patterns to the way human beings work, and if you learn these patterns and align yourself to those patterns, you find that things work out better for you in the long run. If you try and do things differently to those patterns, you slowly destroy yourself. If you want to learn more about the frameworks I use and the patterns that hold everything together, click the link for an introduction to the models I use to raise people up and bring them together.